From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight mindful of the advice that airline investigators give after every major crash. Don't jump to conclusions. It was snowing last night in New York when U.S. Air Flight 405 tried and failed to take off from LaGuardia Airport. Of the 51 people on board, 24 survived, 27 were killed. There are no conclusions yet, but there were certainly many questions. Was something wrong with the plane? Was it the weather? Was it pilot error? Our first report tonight is from ABC's Jim Hickey.
What little was left of U.S. Air Flight 405 was lifted out of the water today. Survivors said that as the plane was taking off, it suddenly veered left, clipped a small utility shed, hit an embankment, and plowed into the frigid bay off the end of the runway and caught fire.
And the flames started, and you could see the flames growing. I said, I'll take my chances in the water. Now, I'm frozen. I feel like I'm frozen.
Rescue workers said all the elements were against them. The snow, the dark, the cold, and the burning jet fuel.
And the jet fuel went up. When we were confronted with that, it was just kind of a sensory overload. You know, you're dealing with so many different issues.
Many of the victims were trapped in the partially submerged fuselage, some apparently burned to death. Most survivors walked through the shallow water to safety.
As you got closer in, you could see people just kind of wandering around aimlessly by the crash site.
National Transportation Safety Board investigators are looking at the wintry weather as a possible cause. Officials say LaGuardia Airport was operating within safety standards, but there is the question of whether a buildup of ice on the wings disrupted the air flow over them, preventing the plane from properly lifting off. Aircraft are normally sprayed with chemicals to melt the ice. U.S. Air officials say Flight 405 was de-iced at 8:26 last night, then again at 8:59. The plane then sat for about a half an hour waiting to take off, without being de-iced again. Investigators say a half an hour is not necessarily too long to wait. The pilot must inspect his plane to make that determination.
It is largely a matter of pilot judgment and pilot decision. Now, we'll be looking at that during the course of the investigation.
U.S. Air officials say the plane was commanded by an experienced pilot. He had 8,000 hours flight time, 1,000 hours on this kind of aircraft. The captain was one of the victims. Jim Hickey, ABC News, New York.
It is often the case that there is no one cause of a crash, but several connected factors. In this case, the weather is certainly a prime suspect, and because the weather was the way it was, so in this case is the aircraft. A twin-engine Fokker 28 built in the Netherlands. Here's ABC's Patina.